with Right Side Broadcasting. We want to bring you some coverage of Hurricane Irma, which has been hitting the Caribbean since yesterday and looks to be approaching Puerto Rico pretty strongly right now. I'm going to show you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Steve Lookner with. That's better. Sorry, you'll hear double for a second. So, want to show you where the hurricane's at, and in addition to that, we want to see if we can find some footage of what the hurricane's doing right now in the Caribbean. So we'll be doing both those things, and I'm just texting my boss here. We'll be doing those things. So I first want to I would like to get a map up here and just give you a current where it's at kind of thing before we start looking around for footage.
And people trying to keep the water out.
So
and so forth, but nothing of the
here's the general idea of where it's at right now.
Wish you the best, Ronald Jackson.
This is a Weather Channel right here.
Caribbean.
Ooh, that's kind of big. Let's see, hold on a second. I can fit that. There I go. So you can see it's right near Puerto Rico. Projections right now have it on Sunday morning approaching Florida. As to whether it'll be on the east side of Florida, the west side of Florida, a direct hit of Florida, not a direct hit of Florida, all that's up in the air right now. Really, according to the forecasters, the eye could be anywhere in that red area. So we just don't know. How much will it pass over Cuba? We don't know. Looks to be missing Haiti and Dominican Republic. I mean, I'm guessing they'll get some wind and rain, but doesn't look to be a direct hit on those. And here's some different forecast model tracks for the next 6 days.
When I look at what's about to happen to Florida, it is
and
the number I will be looking at.
Let me do this.
In Houston to sort of judge
did I get it? There we go. Forecast model tracks. This thing is bothering me here a little bit. Let me make this a little smaller.
That should animate people in
if I can.
Florida right now.
Sorry, just getting on the air right now. I'll make that a little smaller. That's better. I like that better.
To remind people that Florida, the local Florida emergency management agencies are the ones who are going to know.
You can see the forecast tracks. I mean, they're all roughly the same, but there's a big difference between the furthermost west track and the furthermost east track. So, you know, we could see it not really affect North Carolina that much, or we could see a direct hit on North Carolina. Don't know. Gotta wait and see. Ace Trade just made a donation. Thanks, Ace Trades, $2, and said, many prayers for those affected by Harvey and Irma. I agree with you, Ace Trades. See, now this is too small.
Want them to evacuate where the hurricane is actually going to hit.
So I was just setting this all up right before we got on the air, so I'm still messing with it. The setup here. What else do they say here? Hurricane force wind probabilities you're seeing there. Puerto Rico, you know, in the next. Starting right around now and tonight, that's when they're going to get hit the hardest. It's been right around the Virgin Islands, so we're going to try to get some footage for you soon. Rainfall through Saturday. You know, and this doesn't tell you really what's going to happen with Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. We just don't know because we don't know where exactly it's going to hit the U.S. or come near the U.S.
Loss of life. That's why there are these directed or targeted
big storm surge too, which could be very problematic for some of these islands, you know, because they're not very high up. Puerto Rico 4 to 6 feet in the north, 2 to 4 feet in the south. 15 to 20 feet in those islands up here. I'm not sure exactly what islands those are. Let me look.
Let's get through the next 48 to 72
hours.
Let
me look.
The recovery then should focus, of course, on
infrastructure. I search for Puerto Rico, and then I make the map bigger.
There's been a question about the capacity to deal with this because of Houston. Look, FEMA is divided into regions. Fortunately, I guess to put it that way,
so I think the islands we're talking about are like up here. Oh, Bahamas. Is that Bahamas?
Region 4 and then Region 6.
Well, it doesn't seem to reach the Bahamas yet, if I'm right. It's like the Turks and Caicos Islands, if I'm pronouncing it right. That's what's looking at 15 to 20 feet of storm surge. Wow, maybe that's the whole island, basically, covered with water. So all these things we'll keep an eye on. We want to keep you posted on what's happening. We'll be, next few days, we'll definitely be doing coverage of this hurricane. I mean, I hope it just takes a north turn and doesn't really hit the U.S. and hits as few people as possible, but it's looking like it's going to do a lot of damage and flooding and all that stuff. So let's see if we can find some footage of what's actually going on there now.
Writes the plan. That's after the White House promised for at least 6 months it was writing its own tax plan.
This looks like footage I'm going to put on the screen from Puerto Rico.
A massive tax plan is coming.
See if I can get this up here for you. I might have to do a little messing around here, guys, before I can show this.
We are introducing a tax plan before we
give me 1 sec,
which is actually very well finalized. Our tax
there we go.
reform and tax plan
this is Puerto Rico right here.
It's going to be out very soon. The tax cut is going to be major. It's going to be simple. One of the largest tax cuts in history, and the whole tax plan is wonderful.
Today, in a tax reform stump speech in North Dakota, the president gave a new deadline on his, quote, wonderful tax plan.
So this is the eastern part of Puerto Rico, and we can already see, you know, wind, rain, not really flooding yet, but definitely windy there. To get a better idea what the wind is like, you know what we can do? We can do this.
Through September 17th, save up to $500.
We can go to our friend Windy.
Tempur-Pedic sleep is power. Great people set your company apart. HR's job is to help.
So you can see that's where the hurricane is right now. And it's just getting very close. Now Puerto Rico might luck out a little bit, although San Juan's right on the north there. But Puerto Rico might luck out a little bit because it doesn't look like they're going to take a direct hit. The hurricane's going to go by to the north. It'll still be bad there. But the problem with that is that then when the hurricane, if the hurricane goes over the land, it weakens. If it doesn't, it doesn't weaken. So it doesn't look like we're going to get weakening by going over Puerto Rico. It looks like it's going to go north of it. And but if you can see, let's look. If we look at the wind here, we're getting 54 miles an hour on the east part, 33, 42. San Juan probably not as much yet, 27. But all that's going to get higher as this hurricane makes its westward pass to the north of Puerto Rico.
TripAdvisor, the latest reviews, the lowest prices.
Really getting a lot of wind here on the top.
Depression is a tangle of multiple symptoms.
You know, right here, that's when we start getting into the 50s and stuff. Now, if we get closer, oops, what happened with that? Why did it do that? See, now the winds, if you get closer to the hurricane, we're talking 71, 81, 66, 82. So, I don't know if these kind of winds are going to affect San Juan. You know what else we can do, real quick?
Tell your healthcare
everybody in this path. And the picture tells the whole story with this storm. First of all, look at the breadth of this storm. Directly in this storm path, with the storm surge upwards of 20 feet, then the southeastern
from now
smaller.
Direct.
That's a question mark.
This is the hourly forecast for San Juan. Well, it was the hourly forecast.
What it's going to do next, Turks and Caicos, directly in the storm's path, with a storm surge upwards of 20 feet, then the southeastern Bahamas. And Brian, the good thing for the people of Puerto Rico is that the storm stayed offshore.
So today's San Juan.
Interaction with land, with no mountains to begin to shred the storm.
If you look at the winds,
it continues to power on.
So San Juan, it says by 6 p.m., which I think is around now. This forecast seems a little off because it says they should be getting 71 mile an hour wind right now, and I think the hurricane isn't as close as it would be for them to get that. But it looks like for the next few hours they're supposed to get very strong winds, about a third of an inch of rain an hour there. So, you know, I think it could be worse if the hurricane was making a direct hit on them, but it's still going to be pretty bad there. But we'll try to get you some footage.
Turn into the end of the week is going to roll through Turks and Caicos with winds at 175 miles per hour.
Here's this footage we were looking at before.
Southeastern Bahamas, but watch, look at Cuba right there, not making contact with those mountains. Then it rejoins those warm waters right off the Florida shoreline in the 80s and upper.
Por ahí gente me llamaron, pastor, ¿cómo está mi mamá? ¿Cómo está? Tengo familiares en Puerto Rico, me fui. Y esto es lo que está sucediendo en Fajardo. Y exactamente la urbanización Altamira. Urbanización Altamira.
Definitely very, very strong winds there. Look at that.
Así que puedes hacer, además de preocuparte por tu familia, ora por Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico necesita de todas sus oraciones, de todas sus clamores. Estamos aquí en familia, clamando al Señor. Y sabemos que Dios está en control de todo. Pues nada, pues hacemos este video porque sentí en mi corazón de que había mucha gente.
Quickly check around, see what else we got out there tonight.
There's not a lot to stop it. It all depends on where it turns and when.
Dave Price, thank you so much for being here.
You bet.
Another break for us. When we come back, why it is high time right now tonight to salute the...
Here's someone driving in the very eastern part of Puerto Rico. Well, they just got interrupted. See if they can get them back up. Let's try this. That didn't work too well. Come back! Come back! Why are you driving in that weather?
Or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials,
here's one from more the middle part of Puerto Rico, somewhat towards the east. We can check this one out.
All right, but let's look at this picture. This is
What you might know is that sitting all day at your desk may be just as bad. It may lead to heart disease and back pain. But standing more and sitting less is better for you. Increases circulation.
Thank you, Stephanie Messenger, for the donation. We appreciate your donations. Your donations keep us on the air. Let us bring you coverage. So if you like our channel, subscribe to us on YouTube, click the notifications bell. But also, please consider donating.
So I started using Topic. What a huge
Please consider donating. You can donate by just going to the YouTube chat and clicking on the dollar sign bottom of the YouTube chat. Thanks to the moderators on both YouTube and the website for moderating the chat today. And as always, this evening. And we're going to keep following the hurricanes. Oh, the other way you can donate is you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. I am looking for some feeds for you guys. I want to try looking around different places. So give me 1 sec. I'm not sure see what I can find. If you get news tips, photos, videos, give me a shout on Twitter @Lookner. Let me know what you find. I can share it with our audience.
Perfect sleep changes people. Transform your life at Casper.com. Try their mattress for 100 nights with free shipping and returns. Casper.
From this standpoint, we'll see what happens.
My mom's pain from moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis was intense. I wondered if she could do the stuff she does for us, which is kinda a lot. And if that pain could mean something worse.
Peeking around, seeing what's here for a second, guys.
Relieve joint pain and help stop further damage. Nemro may lower your ability to fight infections. I was getting sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood diseases, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cut your sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if
show you this one. Here's some. This isn't overly exciting. This is in Puerto Rico, though, I believe.
Don't stop eloquence unless your doctor tells you to. Eloquence can cause serious.
That's how I'm charging it right now. Thank you very much for watching.
Simone, darling, I see you. My neighbor, I ain't know where you be, but I see you. Mike, I see you. Monique, I see you. Liana.
Eloquence treats DVT and PE blood clots, plus had less major bleeding. God bless. Ask your doctor. Switching to Eloquence is right for you.
You ring spotlight camera. See and talk to anyone on your property right from your phone. Anyone? Anyone.
Thanks to Jason Thornton and DG Raptor for the donations. We appreciate it.
Ninjas? Depends. Giant squids.
Definitely.
Regular squids.
Has to.
Aliens.
For you?
I don't want to do that.
I'll take 6.
See and speak to visitors. Right from your
Hold on a sec, guys. I don't know where that's coming from. I think it's Puerto Rico, but give me 1 second. Let me get a little organized here. I need to get a little organized here. Sorry.
Then easily select the best candidates from one list. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/fast.
For you?
I'll take 6.
See and speak to visitors. Right from your phone. Check it out at ring.com. I can tell right away.
Let me do one quick thing, guys, before I get you more footage. I got to do one quick thing.
Then easily select the best candidates from one list. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/fast.
Presents 9/11, Sunday night at 9 Eastern on CNN.
Let's say you want to watch your favorite shows, but you don't have your TV handy.
Sure.
Well, thanks to Spectrum, you can take your TV with you, with TV everywhere. So you can bring your favorite shows and movies with you wherever you go. What are you doing?
Bringing my TV everywhere.
Aliens.
For you?
Download your favorite channel apps on your Apple and Android devices and take your TV everywhere.
Check it out at
I brought one for you.
I can tell right away ZipRecruiter is going to make a
Almost done. Sorry about that.
Go to ZipRecruiter.com and post to over 100 job boards with
Once in a while, things get a little messed up here. I'll fix it before showing it to you. Then it'll look like it's right. Awesome.
What people really need is what they need to get up to. Helping them get there means you can't approach investments from just one point of view. Because it's only when you collaborate and cross-pollinate many points of view that something wonderful can happen.
That looks fine.
Those people might just get what they want out of life. Or they could get even more.
Let's see what else we got.
I see someone sitting here. It's coming right over here.
Good evening. People tonight are finding out what a strong Category 5 hurricane, the strongest ever recorded,
going on in Puerto Rico.
Millions more either on the move or hunkering down because of what it might do to them. Images already speak to how destructive Hurricane Irma is, and so does the sound. Just listen.
Lo que están viendo que han compartido.
Complete darkness. The first pictures of the devastation flying the Prime Minister of Bermuda and the Eagle over the minutes ago. We'll tell you that shortly. What you saw because of destruction staying and now already destructive and deadly storm has started climbing American atmosphere with no way out of Puerto Rico. In a moment, the newest forecast is exactly where on the continental United States so many times and just how hard and play in the dark.
Got a hurricane news update for you guys.
Atlantic and growing even stronger.
Can you feel that right there?
For several hours now.
Get in the hole.
It's near the northern coast where we are right now. Puerto Rico. Shelters right now.
So what we got is
more than 2,000 people in them.
a couple things.
Last check, rain is coming down and with
that image.
Ryan Mao says.
In the fairway.
one rescue.
Updated National Hurricane Center Atlantic takes Category 4 or 5 Hurricane Irma into Miami-Dade County on Sunday. Time to abandon ship all along southeast Florida coast. This is the 5 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. And as you can see, on Sunday at 2 p.m., it looks, according to this, that the center of the hurricane is basically over Miami. So that would not be good. Now, of course, there's variation that could definitely happen before then. But as of right now, it looks to be predicted for the hurricane to go right up that eastern part of Florida, which would not be good. And max sustained wind is still 185.
So now
pressure is at.
many people are paying attention to wait and see what is next.
Anderson, we are
Will
starting to feel
I
don't see it on here.
Will they be able
Well,
to
I can find it somewhere else.
several hours?
But that's a bit of a worry.
When is it supposed to be?
The other thing I wanted to show you was this.
How close, from what you understand, is it's supposed to get to Puerto Rico?
More than 2,000 people in them.
There are now 3 hurricanes in the Atlantic. We have Irma, of course. We have Jose behind Irma to the east. And in the Gulf of Mexico, we have Katia. They are all hurricanes now. So we need to keep an eye on all of these now. 3 hurricanes all at once in the Atlantic.
Making its way above Puerto Rico. You know, the governor has said all day that they were hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. We don't know yet what the worst will be.
We have this shot again of eastern Puerto Rico.
Some of it, but what will come next is the big fear for this island that is filled with 3.5 million.
Más fuerte porque Dios pues metió humanos como tierra y movió, pero esto es lo que sucede, esto es lo que está sucediendo desde Fajardo a Puerto Rico.
On the island of Barbuda. Just before air, I spoke with Brown, Prime Minister of Venezuela and Barbuda.
Lo que está sucediendo en Puerto Rico es que si tienes familia en los Estados Unidos, no te preocupes lo que está en Estados Unidos. Si tienes familia en Puerto Rico, pues no crean esos videos falsos que están pasando por ahí. Todo lo que está sucediendo en vivo desde Fajardo, Puerto Rico.
95% of the properties in Barbuda were damaged. The infrastructure was damaged, all of the institutions, the loan hospital,
no, me estoy mojando, tenía que esconder el hueco de la casa de mamá, de la casa de Mike. De aquí en el balcón de mi madre.
95% of the structures are damaged. How many
hijos responsables
are completely
haciendo el trabajo que nos toca hacer?
In my estimation, probably about 20%, 30% of the properties were totally demolished. And let me add here too that even the loan airport as well was damaged, so it cannot accommodate any form of flight. The only those that have them now prior we have a situation too in which the telecommunication system.
Hey guys, just want to make sure somebody had written me saying that their YouTube stream had locked up a few times. I hadn't noticed any issues with our stream video-wise, but could you please let me know if there have been any problems? I'm looking at it; it seems fine. So, one thing is, you know, if you're getting YouTube issues, one thing you can try to do is refreshing the stream. But please let me know if there's any problem with the stream. I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't see any issues right now, but let me know if you see any problems with the stream. Thank you. Again, if you guys hear of any updates, news-wise, you know, photos, videos, give me a shout on Twitter @Lochner. Let me know. And I can share it with our audience. I can't share everything, obviously, but I'll do my best to share what I can. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you can follow us on Twitter @RSB Network. Subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell if you want to know. The next couple days we'll be coming on with updates about Irma, so if you want to know when we're coming on, subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell. And feel free to like this video on YouTube and follow it on Facebook, because that really helps spread the word about our videos. You know, we're not a big company, so we can't really afford to advertise. So when you like and follow our videos, that really is a big help to us, because it tells YouTube and Facebook to let other people know about it. Let's see what else I can find here. Everybody's saying the stream is fine, so that's good. That's good to know. Thank you, everybody, for writing. I see all your comments. I appreciate it.
So it is easily one of the most consequential storms to have actually, you know, developed in the Atlantic, and certainly to have actually stormed through the Caribbean.
What are the capabilities in terms of relief, getting what's needed to that island? I know you said the runway is damaged. Obviously, that's something that needs to be repaired in order to bring in large aircraft.
Well, yes. So what we'll have to do is to
hang on one sec, guys. I'm just trying to
then use helicopters and some boats to move
another
these relief items into
feed up here
into Barbuda, and we're presently negotiating with different international agencies and different countries we've actually estimated the rebuilding effort to be no less than probably $100 million US. And that is conservative because you're talking about putting by rebuilding everything, all of the institutions, the infrastructure for telecommunications, the roads, curbs, and drains. It is just absolutely.
So this is from one of the islands east of Puerto Rico. I think the hurricane's already been there. I'm not sure where. It's a little hard for me to tell, but I'll show you what's going on there. Oops, unless the right as I said that. Oh, let's see.
From that island coming up. More now, though, on the scope of the threat, the strength of the storm, and who is now in danger, as well as the horrifying fact that Irma is now just one of 3 hurricanes out there. For that, we're joined by CNN meteorologist Ned Rappaport, acting director of the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Tom, first of all, let's just talk about where is this headed?
Live for my tree. Live for my piece of roof. Deteriorated and right now. The rain is really going to start to pick up. Yesterday we told you there's only one other hurricane in recorded history in the Atlantic that was stronger. That was Allen in 1980. But Irma passed Allen.
Well, he was showing some damage that it caused, and as soon, of course, as we started watching him, he stopped showing the damage.
That is just staggering, and
this is another. This is one of the islands east of Puerto Rico that I guess the hurricane's already been there.
Saying the 4 largest structures in St. Martin have been destroyed.
Nothing too crazy, so I'll hold off on showing you that.
Then in the British Virgin Islands, and the radar now showing.
This is also east of Puerto Rico. One of the islands there.
The little light thing. Look, I'm just looking. It ain't that bad right now. She said Alvarez is about to get deported. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say this, but I'm not going to say it on live, but his ass might be coming back to Puerto Rico, and you know why. Look, I would take all orders from the command tower. What? It's not fucking that bad yet. Yes, honey, we have no choice but to be in good spirits because if you know you sit, you worry and mope all the time, it's not going to make it any better. So why not sip on a little something and, you know, gather your mind? No. She out here on this live. Yeah, she watching. Look, Kevin, y'all. I know you still watching. Son Gibbs want to show you something. He done had 2 of these in one fucking day. 2 in one day. Wait, look, 2 in one day. He's drinking nothing but anise. So I should go ahead and request leave for the rest of the week. Yes, ma'am. You should go ahead, and you don't even have to request leave. You ain't gonna get no flight to come back.
4 to 5 days.
So we're seeing some wind there, and that again is one of the islands to the east of Puerto Rico. I can't be sure exactly what at the moment.
From west to east. So if it comes ashore, we will have the worst of the conditions. If it turns offshore and even passes, say, 50 miles offshore, we'll still have hurricane force winds in South Florida because
here's eastern Puerto Rico. Here's a video of what's going on there.
Do you know, this may be a dumb question, when we will know which of those options it may be taking?
We'll probably know in about 24 to 36 hours. At this point, what we know is a little more clearly is that the track is turned near the peninsula. As of yesterday, there was still some possibility that it would make it into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. That's much less likely right now. Now we're focused more on the area from east to the west part of the Philippines.
And Tom, is it possible for it to go further up the east coast?
Yeah, I mean, we could look at an ensemble. This is about 21 models that make up the U.S. and GFX model. And we're still wondering first if it's going to interact with Cuba because that could downgrade it somewhat and squeeze out a lot of water, unfortunately, for Cuba. But if it heads in this direction and then further to the north, I mean, we could be looking at a landfall up in the Carolinas if it stays off the coast as well. And Anderson, this is a lot like
Matthews last year. I mean, this is devastating.
So one of you wrote in and told me, Lord Joe said that the storm is now 911 millibars and dropping quickly. Really? I'm going to check up and try to confirm that while I leave this footage on the air.
It stayed right along the coast. I mean, we had significant damage on A1A, buildings all the way up and down the coast. And don't forget the historic flooding that we had up in the Carolinas, where we lost dozens of people with the flooding in parts of Georgia, South, and North Carolina. So even if it stays off the coast,
that 911 pressure.
The difference is off coast is catastrophic damage, and if it stays off the coast, it'll be minimal or moderate damage. But if it just slides a little bit, I mean, we're talking catastrophic damage on land for the entire peninsula. The winds, the tropical storm force winds are so wide, it would swallow the entire Florida peninsula as it makes its way northward.
Ed, I mean, just how buildings in a city like Miami, if it was that track that takes it right over land, how strong are they? I mean, are they built to prepare for a
I thought it was going to be fast to do this, but it's been much slower than I thought. Let's see. It says
the building codes. The building codes are the strongest in the nation here. Still,
I can't find the pressure numbers anywhere. I'm looking. Oh, at 5 p.m. the pressure is 914. 914 is the pressure according to Weather Channel. That's lower. Yesterday it was about 930. So it's definitely getting lower. That's quite low. Harvey, when it got at its lowest, the pressure was around 930 or so. So 914 is really low. The winds are at 185. Actually, real quick, I'll show you the update. Give me 1 sec.
Straight into Irma. It says it is getting even stronger as we speak.
Here's the latest. This came out about a half an hour ago.
Kevin. Meet your father.
Kevin.
Get ready for me complaining every 5 minutes about autoplay videos on websites and how much I hate them. Especially when there's like no option to turn it off. Okay, here we go. Here it is. That's the latest update there. You can see Hurricane Irma at 5 p.m. Winds 185, crazy, pressure 914, moving west-northwest 16 miles an hour. It is going to pass to the north of Puerto Rico a little bit, but it's right near Puerto Rico, as you can see. Passed Barbuda yesterday, tonight Haiti, Dominican Republic. It's going to approach the Bahamas. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get there tonight.
In your life,
we can see there should be a track here somewhere.
We'll never be ready for.
There we go. So the Bahamas, it's going to hit, it looks like around on Saturday evening. And then Sunday, I mean, it'll start affecting it before, start affecting Florida before. But it looks like
24-hour protection from frequent heartburn.
There's that track which takes it right through eastern Florida, you know, on Sunday and Monday.
We call it Mini. New clear minis from Nexium 24-hour. See heartburn different.
Here are the forecast model tracks, as you can see.
Done. Super cool notebooks. Done.
That's Mom taking care
of
business.
Let's go back to the footage.
And with the 25-cent event, Office Depot Office Max takes care of Mom. Now, all this, just 25 cents each. Taking care of business.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith. Or this John Smith. Or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana
Here's
Medicare
some
Advantage
big wind
members.
happening. This is also Puerto Rico.
No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health. To provide
Vida,
care that's just as unique as
I eat already.
no matter what your name is.
Yeah, we bought a couple things yesterday. We went out and we did a little grocery.
6.2 miles.
And yeah.
That's a marathon. Because he chooses to walk whenever he can.
Ahí está lo
Does it with support from Dr. Schultz.
Ellos van y vienen, se esconden ahí, salen otra vez. Ahí están los policías. Están dando su ronda otra vez. Van y vuelven.
You need new glasses. So why not have them delivered to your doorstep at glassesusa.com? You can choose.
Pero esto es una experiencia que no digo que vamos a que la pasen, pero es una experiencia que uno puede ver lo que es la naturaleza, lo que es la naturaleza. Es una experiencia de lo que es la naturaleza, lo fuerte que es la naturaleza y a veces Y poniéndolo desde un punto de vista espiritual, a veces tenemos tormentas espirituales en nuestras vidas, y esto lo que hace son vientos contrarios, son vientos que quieren arrancar, son vientos que quieren llevarse todo lo que está a su alrededor. Y ahí está, como dice, esos son, como dice la Biblia, esos son palmeritas, las palmeras. Si ustedes miran solamente el lado de la...
Okay, so well, I can keep this on.
Gracias, Marisa.
So let's see what else we have. That's Puerto Rico there. A lot of wind, a lot of wind. It's probably going to get worse as the hurricane gets closer.
The opposite of a weather balloon. Instead of going up, these suns fall by parachute.
That was the north side of Puerto Rico there, which is going to get hit harder, I would presume.
Pressure, temperature, GPS, wind direction, wind speed, and all that data gets gathered by the aircraft, and we transmit it by satellite to the National Hurricane Center.
This is also Puerto Rico. It was Puerto Rico. That's northeastern Puerto Rico.
The entire southeastern U.S. is now focusing on that track. So we are dropping 33 of those sondes on our mission this evening in order to refine the accuracy of the track.
And in terms of what the storm is doing right now, I mean, can you
Eastern
say
Puerto Rico?
It's been, and we're continuing to see winds measured directly
shot of
by
the beach, and this is
a
north part of Puerto Rico towards the east side.
At the surface in the eye wall, which is over 180 miles per hour. So this is a legitimate Category 5 hurricane. You really can't overhype this storm.
Yes. That's why I said as soon as I start to see more things flying around, I'm leaving.
Part of the Atlantic. We've had Cat 5s that have
again, I'm only doing this for you guys to see.
Closer to Miami, of course, we had Andrew. Then we have had
this is only
like
for you guys
Katrina
to
and
see.
Rita in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes, Rio Lopez. I'm in Condado. I'm in the.
We really haven't seen a storm
the
like
Vanderbilt.
Irma. So it's extremely dangerous, especially with the path that it's projected.
If I were to choose again in the future to be going through a storm in Puerto Rico, this would be the location. They have secured everything. We have, like I said, they have different plans of actions for different scenarios.
Is it getting stronger?
And right now, a lot of the people are in the area that they have for us now.
Yes, that is a big
I of
part
course
of it.
wanted to sleep, so I wanted to be in my bed and not amongst all the other guests. So I was able to sleep. I had a nice glass of red wine. I'll go down there, watch some movies until the storm passes, and pray that everything is okay.
All the way down to when the
and if you guys are noticing, the sky is getting
not only the environment around the storm that's important, but also the ocean temperature.
I might be leaving very soon.
Ahead of Irma,
but aside from that, guys, like I said, please send your prayers to Puerto Rico. I'm more concerned about everybody else. I'm gonna be fine. So, if you can, send me updates. I don't know if I'm gonna have this.
Are about the warmest they've been all year.
Guys, I just wanted to thank Russell Nicholson, donated $50. That's so nice of you, Russell. We really appreciate it. We're viewer supported here. We can't come on the air and give you news coverage and an alternative to the mainstream media unless you guys donate, and you guys have. So we're on today because you guys have donated in the past. So we owe this all to you. But if you like our coverage and you want to see us do more of it, please consider making a donation. You can donate by going to the YouTube chat room. And you can just click on the $ at the bottom of the chat room, or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate. rsbn.tv/donate. We are covering Category 5 Hurricane Irma, 185-mile-per-hour sustained winds as it passes north of, just to the north of Puerto Rico, and we're looking at Puerto Rico right now. North part of Puerto Rico, kind of towards the east half, but more in the center of Puerto Rico. And she said it's getting worse.
What you might see overnight is you might see the
see what else we can find out there.
Bottom out in intensity, maybe even weaken just a few millibars. But then once it completes that eye wall replacement cycle, it's right back to being.
This is the eastern part of Puerto Rico on the north side. This is quite bad here.
Amazing because it's gone through about 4 or 5 of these cycles over the last few days.
Don't worry, Ma. I'm doing all right. We're all safe. Everybody's inside watching TV, watching movies.
Hi, Alana.
Wifey and I are doing good. I got a river going down the street here. It's just starting. Winds have really picked up over the past 10 to 15 minutes. Damn. Not really sure how much longer I can stay here on the porch. Let me try and clean my camera screen. Hang on. There we go. There's a little bit better of a picture. This is Luquillo, Puerto Rico. After I saw the videos of St. Martin and Antigua, I was strapping my truck down. Can't lose that baby.
Guys, I'm going to disappear for like a minute. I'll leave the footage up. If it ends or something, I'll be right back. So I'm not going away. I'll just be about 1 minute. I'll be right back.
How many days do you advise that they're able to be self?
No evacuation. Just board your place up and ride out the storm and hope you got your beer nice and cold. I'm in the city. I live up on a hill called Brisas. Medalla and Michelob. Everybody wants to see I tied down my truck. Yeah, we're good and safe. I have my generator in the back of my truck, so I wanted to tie down the cab, the camper, so I wasn't taking any chances. And then I have my electrical cords running out into my garage. Better safe than sorry.